Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Another edition of Banish the Doubt. Sunday morning here, and I'm sitting just waiting for my son to finish his baseball practice before a big doubleheader today. And I wanted to make this video because I was actually watching the new documentary on Bon Jovi, Thank You, Good Night, and listening on the way down to this field. Um, a show on the local radio station here, sports radio station in this area, and the host was talking about a book that she wrote about legends of the golf game. And interestingly, one of the legends that she talked about was Padraig Harrington from Ireland. And for those of you who maybe watch golf, or maybe your parents watch golf, they may recognize the name as Padraig Harrington. He was a former number one player in the world. And today's video, I want to talk about. Obviously, the title of my videos are Banish the Doubt, but really fear, overcoming fear, and really the mindset to not so much overcome the fear, but understand that it's there and act in spite of it. Because fear, the acronym is false evidence appearing real. So what I found very interesting was that former number one player in the world, Padraig Harrington, says that he still has fear when he goes to the first tee to start his match. He said not nerves, is an actual fear going to that first tee. And the author, the host of the radio show, and myself were both perplexed, because you would think that a professional in any endeavor, they may get some butterflies before the performance or what have you, or in the sense of, the case of sports, before the game starts, but not actual fear. So his message in this book was to overcome or act in spite of the fear. So that leads me to this documentary by Bon Jovi. I just started watching it, but early on, you can tell that John Bon Jovi had this mindset. He starts off the documentary, if you haven't seen it yet, starts off really at the very, very beginning, where John talking about his neighborhood growing up, and he mentioned that in school, in his teenage years, he he would sing I don't think either one of his parents, I know his father was in the Marines, I don't think his mom was a florist, but I don't think he goes, nobody in our family really sang or anything like that. But he found this guitar early on in his life, and a neighbor moved in across the street and really started to kind of get him into this idea of performing and playing music, playing instruments. So he started to adopt this idea. But interestingly, he said himself, because I never really had much of a voice, and even in my family, he had this awareness. But here's the reason I'm bringing this up. In high school, he had, music class he took. And he said both his coach, or his teacher in high school, and his father both said to him about his singing, yeah, we're not so sure. Here's what he said. He goes, at this point, he started to understand that he really liked this, and he wanted to go after this as an endeavor. He said, yeah, well, I am. So from an early age, in his teenage years, John started to understand, no, I am going to be a singer. And this sort of ties into my video this morning, is that it's the mindset. It's knowing that whatever it is that speaks to you on the inside, you're going to follow that in spite of anything external. Now, of course, John probably didn't know anything about Neville Goddard. He may not even know about him today, but he was adopting that same type of mindset, that you do not allow the outside to influence how you're feeling. This has been sort of a theme of mine in all my videos, that we operate, we work from inside. We work from that voice that's inside. We tap into that. We understand that. We meditate on that. So we operate, even if there is some sort of doubt or fear, we operate in spite of that. So you watching this, what fear may you have that you're maybe not taking that step in your life to go for that thing that you really want, be it a relationship, be it a job, or starting your own business, or like John's case, John Bon Jovi's, getting into the entertainment industry, or becoming a musician, or maybe in sports. So this is the message this morning, guys, is to operate in spite of our fear, to tap into that knowing within ourselves, that feeling that's there, that other voice inside of us, and listen to that voice. We deny the evidence of the senses. That's what we can see, we can hear, and we assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. John Bon Jovi later went on, and I believe that based on this type of mindset, other doors started to open up for him in his life. So he played in Asbury Park here in New Jersey at a place called the Stone Pony, and he met Bruce Springsteen before Bruce Springsteen was Bruce Springsteen, and he was able to perform with him on stage. So it would be like somebody in your area that you're looking to get into, maybe a person who's not quite well known, but somebody you look up to, and taking you under their wing and saying, yeah, come on, let's go ahead, let's perform together, or whatever. He got that. But I believe wholeheartedly is because he had the mind set. So serendipity starts to take place. People like Bruce Springsteen and John Bon Jovi's area, if you will, start to appear. Southside Johnny, another local very famous band here in New Jersey, he got to perform with him. And then he got an opportunity to work at a recording studio in New York back then called the Power Station. He got to go get around guys like David Bowie and Steven Tyler from Aerosmith and Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones. You see, so these things started happening in his life. But first and foremost, it was here. Once he saw himself there, this other stuff started to take place. So that's my message for you today. Act in spite of whatever you see on the outside or hear on the outside. Tap into that knowledge, tap into that voice inside of you, and don't look back. If you haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. If you like what you heard today, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the other side. God bless. Have a great day.